This is a gold dredge that was used up to 19 and about 51 or 60. It was used here to dredge for gold, and it took out gold. It would dig down, this dredge would dig down about 40 or 50 feet to bedrock through the permafrost, and only 4 men run it, and I certainly wished I had taken pictures of the interior, which Ray did, and it's absolutely phenomenal, the equipment that's in there. Very interesting, the history of it, and this is not the largest dredge, according to Ray, that has been used, about the medium size. When you get inside, it's unbelievable. What's in there, the equipment, the facilities, it's just very mind-boggling. This is a little different view of the dredge. This is the part that went down the ground. It would go down through the permafrost, down to through the gravel and permafrost, down to bedrock, and scoop up the gravel and stuff, bring it up and run it through and take the gold out of it. And they were mainly for the fine golds where the kind of profit was. The dredge, the buckets were big buckets. The buckets weigh 2,500 pounds apiece. I can't recall, but I think she had that 37 buckets or something like that on this at a time. It's just mind-boggling how big it is. This is a picture of Ray walking around looking at it. I'm going to zoom in on him. He doesn't know it. He's really fascinated with it, so am I. But anyway, we walked around it a couple times and looked at it, how it operates. It's really interesting. They have on the back end, which I might get a picture pretty soon, they're called spuds. They drive down to the ground and it pivots around that. There's a picture of Ray looking over. He's fascinated. He's walked around this darn thing so many times that you'd think he was going to adopt it. But anyway, he's looking at the part that goes into the ground. And it's just mind-boggling, again, of all the equipment on this and how. This is different views of it. Pretty high, goes down the ground pretty deep, and so on. I've taken different angles so you can probably see a little bit more about it. And to me, the equipment inside and everything just blew my mind. This is a picture of some of the buckets laying out here, 2 rows of the buckets that they used it to go around and dig in the dirt. Each bucket weighed 2,500 pounds. Brush has grown up through them and they go clear around. It's amazing how much weight they're pulling just running these buckets around that conveyor belt. 2,500 pounds per bucket. I think it was 37 buckets or something like that. And each bucket would call probably 1.5 tons of dirt and gravel. This is out the back end of the dredge where the rock and gravel, they disposed of it, got rid of it as it progressed up through the valley. They would travel about half a mile or so per year working. These square tubes, as you can see here, there's 2 of them here. One to the left is in the ground, one to the right is out of the ground. I'll raise up so you can see what I'm saying. One is already in ground, the cable's loose, pushed in, the other one is lifted up. And what the dredge would do, it floated on water. It kept the hole flooded all the time and float on water to move it. And to drive this pin into this big stake in the ground. It weighed tons and tons, and it would pivot around that. And then it would pivot back 180 degrees and drive the other, and then pivot around the opposite when they cover a big area. This is a picture of Van's van, my van, and Ray's van, and the women sitting up there waiting for us to get up there. And we've already had our tour, and we're deciding where we should go and what we should do from here. See, it's Elnora. There's all the images. Again, this is 3 women sitting on a log, but don't go close to her, not close to her. They're talking, and Ray's looking at the dredge over, took to her, and so am I. Very fascinating. Ray's on his way from the office, chugging along this way. We're trying to decide what to do from here on out. Here's a picture of one of the buckets close up. These buckets weigh 2,500 pounds. And the top of the bucket scrapes ground. They have to keep welding and changing it. Eleanor, she's setting in the bucket. That goes to show you how the size of the bucket. The buckets are really, really large. And 2,500 pounds piece with, I think it's 37 or something like this on that chain. You can just really
Don't point it.
be concerned on how much weight there was there. I'll take another view. The back of this bucket you can see is the heavy iron, steel. I don't know, it weighs 2.5 tons. Or 2.25 tons. At the top of the bucket there wears off, and they have to every winter they restore these buckets by putting a new plate or welding another part on it that drags and wears off. Here's the back side of this particular bucket here. It's just one layout. I want you to see how big they are, and so